Many attorneys we talk to think that SEO doesn't work for them. Maybe you've tried writing content, maybe through outreach and content efforts you worked on getting links pointed to your site, or maybe you just overhauled your website design in the hopes it would drive more prospective clients to your firm. While all those are valid tactics, running a law firm marketing agency for about 10 years now, I've found that too many law firm websites have completely missed the SEO basics. What's up? I'm Mark Holmer, founder of Get Noticed, Get Found, and author of Online Law Practice Strategies. And today, I'm discussing one of the top issues we see all too often. Your website is likely missing the fundamental SEO basics, and it's hurting all your other SEO efforts. If you've struggled and you're not getting a return on your SEO investments, be it investing your time and efforts or investing in a marketing company to help you, you are not alone. We hear this so often, I made an entire video on how to know if your law firm's marketing is working. In speaking around the country at legal events, or on the hundreds of consultation calls we do with law firms that reach out to us, we hear that law firms are spending thousands of dollars a month on what they think are SEO services, but they tell us they're not seeing results in getting quality new business from the search engines. If this sounds familiar to you, then good. You're in the right place. If you're working with a marketing agency and feel that you're still struggling with gaining business from SEO strategies, you may have already brought this concern up with them. Unfortunately, we hear that most of the time, the answer from the agency is that you just don't understand the numbers, or you aren't spending enough money, or that you need to give thousands of dollars in Google in addition to your agency to invest in paid search campaigns. Now, to be fair, depending on the situation, those might be good answers. We're not against paid advertising strategies, and if you watch some of our other videos, you'll know that we feel PPC is a great marketing tactic to help supplement your SEO work. But we do have plenty of data and client success to show that SEO still matters. So, why isn't it working for your firm? Most of the time, when we dive into the details with these firms, the issue is that their website has foundational, basic SEO issues. Or, better put, the easy answer is that whoever built your current site probably cut corners and missed key details on what we call technical SEO. If you're concerned that your agency may have cut some corners and missed these basic details, just use the link in the description to connect with one of our marketing consultants. They can do a quick audit of your website to let you know if that really is your SEO problem. Now you're probably thinking, search engine optimization already sounds technical enough. So what exactly is technical SEO? We've talked about this in other videos, but SEO can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. To some people, it's content marketing strategies. Link building to others, it can be local Google My Business optimization, or maybe it's making sure your directory listings are correct and consistent. And that's just to name a few. But there are a lot of detailed tasks that need to be done correctly on your website from the very beginning. Some of these require specialized technical knowledge. These are things like creating a site structure correctly, increasing the speed of your website, introducing schema markup, optimizing URLs, fixing 404 errors, maybe implementing page-by-page redirects the right way. And the list goes on and on and on. A lot of agencies, especially ones that come from more of a design and content focus and are newer to technical SEO, or those with a less flexible proprietary website system that was built years ago, only focus on the more obvious parts of SEO, like content strategy, for example, and let these small technical SEO details fall by the wayside. Just throwing content at the problem may have been possible to move the needle in the search engines in the past, but in today's extremely competitive environment and legal, you have to cover all the bases to get ranked. Let me walk you through a case study. We have some of this on our website too, and you can get a link to this down in the description below. A client came to us last year that was facing the same problem your law firm may be facing. Their once well-performing website, over time, stagnated and began slipping in the rankings. They were investing regularly in their marketing strategy with an outsourced agency, and the partner and marketing director were frustrated as to why it wasn't working. On top of that, it was really affecting the bottom line business for their law firm, as new leads they used to count on from the internet were drying up. Instead of being picky and taking the cases they most enjoyed working on, they were forced to take as much of the business walking in the door as possible. After some conversations with our marketing consultants, we took on this client and their challenge. The client told us that their website used to rank in the top 3 organic positions for a lot of the search terms, both locally and even nationally. Over the years, they started seeing those positions disappear, which led to a noticeable drop in cases. We did a quick audit on the website, which mainly consisted of running various website crawlers, performing speed tests, using tools like SEMrush and Ahrefs, and had the client add us to their Google Analytics and Search Console. Nothing proprietary here, all things that you or any agency could do. we saw exactly what they were telling us. Traffic, ranking, and leads all declined at a steady rate over the past few years. One thing we typically see in this situation is very poor content, especially in a website that's been ranking great before and has been around for as long as theirs was. Usually we see thin, less than 500 words per page, and keyword-stuffed content that was obviously written for the search engines, but provides little use to someone actually coming to visit the website looking for help from an attorney. And in most cases, much of the content is in poorly written blog posts. I talk more about this in our video, Your Law Firm Blog Probably Sucks. However, in further auditing this website, we saw that this firm had very good content. There were pages for every practice area, each of them being well over 1,000 words or more. It was clear that they had kept up with a lot of the changes of how content can influence the search engines, so content wasn't the issue. Then we started checking all the basics. Sure enough, the devil was in the details. The page structure was non-existent. There were no parent pages. It was just a big flat bundle of content providing no direction to the search engines or to a prospect visiting the site. The URLs were long and a complicated mess. The site was disgustingly slow. There were no site links built into the content. The page titles and meta descriptions in most cases were not even set or provided little value. And the header tags were all used incorrectly. In short, it was a technical SEO mess. Over the past 2 years, despite spending time, effort, and money on content strategies, their rankings and website traffic had totally stagnated. Our goal was to turn that around. Our strategy was to go back to the basics. While we at GNGF live, eat, and breathe this stuff, sometimes people let SEO work get overcomplicated. Our recommendation was simple. Leverage the existing content and backlinks, but fix, or in most cases start, doing all the technical SEO the right way. The client was told by other agencies they needed to overhaul everything and build a whole new custom website to solve their problems. We decided against building a fancy custom website. Instead, we wanted to first see what impact that quality technical SEO execution alone would have on their rankings and traffic. We began by moving their website to one of our WordPress templates that we've created just for law firms. This allowed us to start off with a template that we know is built with speed, mobile responsiveness, and conversion optimization that has worked for dozens of other law firms. As I mentioned, the content was pretty strong, so we transferred over all the content to the new website template. This was a manual effort across thousands of pieces of content, and yes, this was very time-consuming. But it also allowed us to edit each piece of content and implement proper technical SEO practices during the move. For each piece of content, we ran through a keep, kill, combine effort where we decided to keep the content if it can stand on its own, kill the content if it was old legacy content that didn't really provide value to the website at all, or combine the content with other pages that were similar to make a new longer page that was stronger than the individual short pages. Once we had our content pages narrowed down from thousands to hundreds of high-quality web pages, we then, for every single piece of content, implemented the correct use of header tags. We implemented schema markup where appropriate. We used table of contents site links on the longer web pages. And we wrote unique title tags and meta descriptions for each and every page. While time-consuming, we know that all of these pieces play together to send the right signals to the search engine to help with ranking each web page. We then stepped back and crafted a site structure that put the content into the appropriate buckets for this law firm. That way, when a user is looking at the URL, or when Google is crawling the website, it's easy to understand what area each piece of content is there to serve. So once we had a strong site structure outline, we then associated all the content pieces to their appropriate parent page. We then changed the URL from some long system-generated unreadable monstrosity to something simple and descriptive that made it easy for a user, or the search engine, to know what the page was about. Of course, in changing URLs, we implemented code that provided page-by-page redirects, so none of the links to the website were wasted. While our SEO team was optimizing all of this content, our web design and development team got to work. They focused on making the website as lean as possible to optimize for site speed and load time. We optimized all of the images we brought over. We implemented a CDN, or content delivery network, to push cached information out into the edges of the internet. We minified the CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. We added expiry headers and added proper caching features. Once we had everything in place, we then launched the new website and waited patiently for the data to roll in. Let's talk about the results. Remember, all we really did was the basic underlying technical SEO. In fact, in running the content through our keep, kill, combine step, we actually removed a lot of the content the website used to have. Now, to the client's delight, all of our efforts paid off very quickly. Quicker than we even usually expect. Using reports out of SEMrush, a tool available to you or anyone else, 1 year ago, they only had 40 keywords that were ranking in the top 3 positions of Google, and only 169 on the first page at all. The remaining 2,700 keywords were buried on page 2 or worse. After just a few months of the new website launch, they already had 166 keywords ranking in the top 3 positions on Google. That's about a 315% increase. They also had 559 other keywords ranking on the first page, compared to just 160 a year ago. That's a 231% increase. More importantly, the client called his strategic account manager here and said that the phones have been ringing off the hook. And the marketing director later told us that a next step strategy meeting had to be pushed back because all the attorneys were suddenly so busy. This was all done by implementing a strategy of fixing the fact there was not a solid SEO foundation for the website. No new content, no link building, just good old-fashioned technical SEO. If you need any help understanding if your website is missing the SEO basics, use the link in the description to give us a call. One of our marketing consultants can do a quick audit of your website. Like this video if you liked it, and share this with that law firm colleague that you know needs this advice as much, if not more than you do. You know the colleague I'm talking about. Be sure to subscribe to our GNGF channel to continue receiving the best legal marketing strategies on YouTube. I'll see you in the next video.